I'm Sophia Constantine.
And I'm Imani Payne. The governor is signing multiple bills passed by the 136th General Assembly. Tonight, we're taking a look at the biggest forms of legislation and learning how they'll impact Ohioans.
And how city leaders are responding.
We speak with immigration lawyers about how this is impacting communities. Community members across central Ohio continue reporting the presence of ICE agents in their neighborhoods, and immigrants are keeping their legal representation in the loop. Immigration attorney Isla Blumenthal is joining us now to talk about how this is impacting the city of Columbus. So Isla, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what impact is the presence of ICE having on the community right now?
It is having an impact of terrifying people, really terrifying the community, causing almost paralysis. I have originally learned about this going on, not even from one of my clients, but rather from one of my classmates from when I went to Ohio State undergraduate, who is a social worker now working in Columbus. She posted about this, and that was the first I learned about it. And I passed it on to other people in my office. We started getting many phone calls from clients, family members of clients, just terrified, not sure what to do, not sure whether they should be hiding in their houses or if they can go out. Essentially, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of fear. And unfortunately, the best advice right now that we are giving people is if you don't have to go out, don't go out.
Now, have you had any communication with ICE about their efforts here in Columbus?
We have not. ICE is a rather uncommunicative agency, and that is, I think, by design. They are very difficult to get a hold of, very unresponsive to their emails, their phone calls. We have sometimes given phone calls to the duty attorney numbers at the OPLA, that's the Office of the Principal Legal Advisor, and sometimes phone calls to the enforcement removal operations, which is the ones who are out there wearing the vests and detaining people. And it is very common that they don't answer the phones, they don't respond to voicemails, if there is even an option to leave a voicemail, and even emails sometimes it's very difficult to get a response to.
What can people expect in the next couple of weeks?
I think if we look at what we've seen in other cities, we can expect much of the same. We can expect that they are going to be going to places where they think they are going to find people who are out of status, people who entered unlawfully or without documents, and they're likely going to be targeting certain sectors of the job market and not really targeted as often portrayed a targeted criminal record or anything like that. Rather, it's usually more of a sweep. And that's because they're trying to hit numbers. They're trying to hit the numbers that the administration has decreed that they would like to see. And you don't hit numbers like that by going after one person who has a criminal record. You hit those numbers by casting a wide net and arresting everyone and then checking out who you can keep.
All right, and thank you so much again for joining us and sharing this important information. We appreciate it.
Of course, yeah, it's so important, and I know the community is terrified, so I just want everyone to know that hopefully we're hearing this is only going to last 3 weeks. Hopefully it will pass after that.
Thank you. Governor Mike DeWine putting his pen to work at this year's bill signing ceremony. Among several other bills passed, one of them is House Bill 247, also known as Avery's Law.
Avery's Law is named after Avery Russell, who is here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
The legislation will create new requirements on dog owners to prevent dog attacks. The changes will give the local dog warden the authority to seize a dog immediately after an attack. Protections for dogs that are defending themselves, their owners, or their property will also be included.
All right, some of us saw some snow flurries today. It was pretty cold when I was outside pumping my gas.
Oh, yeah.
Our meteorologists, though, say a warm-up is on the way.
That's right. Meteorologist Erin Carroll is joining us now with what you can expect to see this weekend. Hi, Erin.
Hello. Temperatures are looking so much better as we head into Saturday. Nice warm up there, but
Here in Ohio, the Jewish community is feeling the weight of the losses across the globe. Australia continuing to cope with the mass shooting that targeted Jewish people gathering at Bondi Beach to celebrate Hanukkah.
15 people.
After the break, we're taking a closer look at these regulations these officers must follow, especially when dealing with a student. A top story we're following tonight is Governor Mike DeWine signing numerous bills into law. One of the most impactful bills being signed into law is Avery's Law. It was named after Avery Russell, who was attacked by 2 pit bulls in 2024. Avery survived the attack, and the severity of her wounds led to the new legislation. It will create more rules for dog owners to prevent future dog attacks.
Safe.
In Cleveland Heights, police cleared a teacher accused of grabbing a student during an altercation after recess. While in Morrow County, a school resource officer was removed from her position after breaking up a situation without a body camera on. Ohio lawmakers in Washington searching for answers after the federal government suddenly paused funding for the Ohio Manufacturing Extension Partnership. But as our Corey O'Leary explains, some manufacturers don't have the time to wait for clarity.
For the last 3 years,
Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX will own the new version of the platform. ByteDance, the Chinese company which owns TikTok, announced the deal had been signed on Thursday. It comes after years of pressure from the U.S. government to sell to American companies or risk being banned. The deal is expected to close next month. White House officials also say the president signed the National Defense Authorization Act into law. The legislation authorizes nearly $900 billion in funding for military programs and includes a nearly 4% pay raise for service members. The bill also includes a provision that pressures the Pentagon to provide more information on military strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean. The package would cut Secretary Pete Hegseth's travel budget by 25% until unedited videos of the strikes are released to Congress. With polls showing many Americans concerned about his handling of rising prices, the president has been campaigning heavily on lowering the cost of prescription drugs, but Democrats are raising questions about these deals.
Our national political reporter.
Our mayor has gotten on and stated that local authorities are not cooperating with ICE, but in fact, when ICE is coming onto private property and the police are called, the police are not answering their phone, the police are not doing anything.
She says some people detained were already in the legal system, including asylum seekers with cases pending, adding that those situations should not have resulted in arrest. The Trump administration has said stepped-up immigration enforcement is aimed at restoring border security and enforcing federal law. The Trump administration announcing the Kennedy Center, a performing arts venue in our nation's capital, will now be called Trump Kennedy Center. One Ohio lawmaker, however, says a muted microphone prevented her from voicing her opposition to the move.
Thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
That was our political anchor, Curtis Jackson. Curtis, thank you. You can watch his full interview with Congresswoman Joyce Beatty online at SpectrumNews1.com and on our Spectrum News app, available for free on all of your favorite devices. Still to come, the annual event that's helping to bridge gaps. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources made their own donation today. With a little bit of help from Ohio hunters, the agency says it has collected more than 3,300 pounds of deer meat to give to food banks across the state.
Throughout the month of December, we are highlighting some of the best decorated houses in the state.
This submission comes to us from Amanda Aldridge in Fremont. Plenty of red and green lights to get everyone in the neighborhood ready for Christmas. A lit up wreath welcomes visitors to the front door. And of course, we can't forget that string of lights across the roof. It's a nice touch that was no doubt hung with care.
All right, the news continues on Spectrum News 1.
In our next hour, we take a look at how locals are responding as federal immigration authorities make their presence known in Ohio. That and your Spectrum News in 90 after the break.
By Spectrum.
I'm Imani Payne, and here's your Spectrum News in 90. A major traffic change in downtown Columbus. A new flyover ramp connecting I-70 West to I-71 South is now open after years of construction. ODOT says the ramp eliminates a dangerous left lane exit and improves traffic flow throughout the city. Drivers can stay right on I-70 West to use the new ramp, while the old 3rd Street ramp will close permanently December 20th. New data shows Ohio road crews continue to face dangerous conditions on highways. According to the Ohio Department of Transportation, crews, vehicles, and equipment have been struck 119 times so far this year, already surpassing the total from all of 2024. Officials say the trend highlights the importance of obeying move-over laws. The Fairfield County Sheriff's Office is urging residents to check their carbon monoxide detectors after a deadly incident. Investigators say a carbon monoxide exposure at a Bloom Township home killed one person and sent several others, including first responders, to the hospital. Officials say working carbon monoxide detectors are critical for early warning as the investigation continues. Dublin's Planning Commission reviewed a proposal for a senior living complex on the city's east side. The 18-acre project would include 160 apartments.